We're at the last Grand Prix before the summer break in Hungary, and we're going to talk all things, the practice sessions and everything leading up to this race. So let's start with the hot news for this weekend.
I like the fact that you've called it hot news.
Well, that's what we've got written down, and I quite like the title.
Fair enough. I think it's just the same as last year, wasn't it? No one knows where anyone's going and no one's got any idea as to seats other than Max Verstappen, who has very publicly announced that he does not like all the rumours. And I get where he's coming from. I don't like the playground politics, but I think part of the sporting world in general, not just F1, is the assumptions about where people are going to go. Like with the football season at the moment, it's all about the transfer window. It's all about who's going in what seat for next year for F1. Like, there's speculation across the entire sporting world, and I think it's part of the enjoyment of the sport. So I get what he said, but I do think he was being a bit too serious about it.
I suppose so. I think, it is part of it when certain teams take a long time to finalise contracts, and everyone thinks, well, why would it take so long? Is like, if things are working out, why is no one just locked in the years? And so with all the Mercedes talk, I think that's the situation.
Yeah, well, there's always all sorts going on behind closed doors that you never quite realise. I mean, look at how long it took Carlos to decide where he was going last year, what impact that had on every rookie on the grid that we have now. And I think George is possibly quite a large factor, because he very publicly said, was it yesterday he came out and said that he would pay to win championships? So yeah. Money's not an issue. Money's a very small part of it. It is all about, what car you're getting into, the strategies that the team come up with, what the team's future looks like, whether the team are willing to offer you, a couple of years or multiple years or just 1 year. That's what we've got quite a lot of at the moment, just these 1 year contracts that everyone's sort of fighting and arguing over and against. So yeah, it makes for an interesting part of the sport. I quite enjoy it. I like the gotcha-ness of it all. Which is not a word, but I've now invented it.
Everyone trying to collect what they
trying to collect what they can, yeah.
Nice. No, of course, and we will see how everything goes. We'll see. The fact that Isaac only is on a 1 year contract is insane.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yes, I think RB would be
superb.
Indeed. I think RB would be stupid to let him go.
For sure. And
I think he'll either stay there, or if for some reason Mercedes don't like Kimi for whatever reason, as he's going through a bit of a rough patch, but I think they need to stick with him. Then, I mean, hey, if Hadjar randomly went into a Mercedes car, what could he do with that? Who knows? Maybe that Racing Bulls car is actually fast.
Can I just play like devil's advocate here for a little bit? And it's regarding Kimi and the fact that he's had quite a bad few weeks.
Okay.
So I read an article. I say an article. It was just someone's opinion, but I found it quite interesting because the whole thing at the moment with the wet races and its safety, and obviously we've got to be careful, especially with Spa last week. That there'd been very recent deaths on there. It's a very dangerous circuit to race on, particularly in the wet. But you've got the old boys and Max who particularly enjoy the wet races, and everyone keeps saying it's like you've got the 20 best drivers in the world that are racing in this sport. But somebody actually said it's like, have we? Have we got the 20 best racers in the world? We've got rookies who have been there less than half a season at that point, racing these, rocket ships around this track. Are they the best racers in the world? Or are there still, some of the old timers who maybe are past their prime but would still be better? You've got people, and this is going to, obviously, it's a mean example and he gets used a lot as the scapegoat, but you've got Lance Stroll, who is purely there based on, nepotism. Near enough. He's got some talent in there, don't get me wrong. He could do way more than what I could in those cars. But have we got the 20 best drivers on the grid? And I think it comes interesting when you see things like this, where you've got Kimi now having a particularly bad few weeks.
I mean, it's a decent question.
It's a really, it's a really interesting point of view. It's like, have we got the 20 best drivers in the world on that grid? Because would the 20 best drivers in the world not want to race in the rain and be having as considerably bad weeks as this? I mean, you look at the car that Red Bull have got at the moment, and Max is still making an absolutely smashing it. Lewis Hamilton, despite, his massive talent, is having real issues with that Ferrari. If you were to put anybody else in those cars, how much worse would they be at the moment? But then you've got people who would be driving particularly fantastic cars. The Racing Bulls, for example, are amazing. Stick one of them in there, stick Max in a Racing Bull and see how far he goes. I know it's a balance between the best car and the best driver, and you're never going to have people that are all at the same level, because that makes for a boring sport. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting point of view, and I quite enjoyed sort of reading everyone's input and comments onto it, because I thought no one's really questioned it
It's a good point.
But it's a valid point.
It's a good point. I mean, yeah, we'll just kind of see how it all goes. And I suppose it's part of, you have to develop a driver and they've got to gain confidence and experience. And, no driver wants to have 1-year contracts all the time and then being like, well, we've got to make sure that we've got the best driver for next year and it might not be you. And so that's not a lot of security. So it's a good point.
I just thought it's an interesting angle to approach things from.
Indeed. But someone who does have a multi-year contract is Fred Vasseur.
Indeed.
Yes, Ferrari have
Who saw that coming?
Ferrari have now said, thankfully, that they want to keep Fred. So Christian Horner is not going to be the new team principal of Ferrari.
Damn.
Sorry, rumours. The drivers, both Lewis and Charles, have confidence in him. They've had, quite the step up as a team since 2023 when he joined. And unfortunately, what Ferrari do need to do is keep a principal for a while, because you think about the last 20 years, Horner has been the principal at Red Bull for that time.
And he's had some highs and lows in that time.
Yes, but obviously a lot of success.
Yeah,
and then you look at Ferrari in the last 20 years, I think they've had something like 16 principals, and the last championship that they won was in 2008 or something. So
it's easy as soon as things get bad to just get rid of the man at the top, isn't it? But then you've got to it's exactly the same with the rookie drivers. You've got to develop them. You've got to allow a team principal to fit in.
Yes.
It's again the same with any sport. You bring a coach and you bring the coaching staff in. They're not going to fit in straight away. It's going to take you a few seasons to be able to get up to the top game.
Yeah, and people are hoping that they don't treat the team principals like they would treat a coach in a football team, because they
last 3 games and they get sacked.
Exactly. So hopefully that stability is a good thing for Ferrari, and I think that's what the bosses at the top were looking for.
Yeah. Should we stick with Ferrari?
In terms of?
Well, Lewis has been in the sim.
I know. Yes. Famed for never really being doing any sim work whilst in Mercedes, because in his mind, it can have the virtual, the visual aspect of everything, and the steering can feel right and everything. But a lot of the first thing you sense when you're driving the car is what you feel in your body. And if the simulator can't give you that, then to Lewis, he was saying, what's the point? But he's been doing lots of simulator work.
He has. He's even been on Mario Kart. So it's desperate when you go and start on Mario Kart. I mean, I don't know if you saw in FP1, which we'll get onto in a minute as well, Max is already tossing banana peels and stuff out of the cockpit. It really is, it's an absolute scramble for any kind of victory at the moment.
I think Lewis knew.
He did.
He was like, I'm going to have to avoid some obstacles.
Flying objects.
Yeah.
That's what he's been practicing for. Who knew? I'm going to edit that and I'm going to put that in.
Imagine. That is exactly that is so maybe Lewis knew something that we did not.
Quite possibly.
So let's get into the practice session. So FP1, everybody locking up.
Yeah,
Yes.
Massively. Some massive lockups.
Indeed. The Hungaroring is genuinely only made for Formula One, so nothing really happens throughout the entire year, and it's in a bit of a dust bowl situation. So the track is very dusty, it's not used very well, which means they really have to lay down rubber in the track as the sessions go on for them to actually find the grip.
Which thankfully they did after the first 3 corners with the amount of lockups.
Exactly. There were some really nasty ones. There was one for Lewis's car where you could see the tyre was just shredded to pieces.
They say, don't they, that your tyres are looking like 50 pence pieces, but the amount of flat patches that he had, the amount of flat spots that he had, it genuinely did look like an octagon. It was ridiculous. And who was the Felipe Drogovic? He also ended up with quite a few flat spots as well.
Yes.
It was a flat spots all round for FP1.
Indeed. And with Alonso unfortunately missing out, he has a back injury. And so
had this morning. Apparently this afternoon he was absolutely fine.
Well, I think it was a situation where he just needed a bit more time to recover. Obviously, back injuries don't go away, so maybe they were able to do something so he could nurse the back injury. And I mean, he seemed to be doing okay in FP2.
Do you think he just got up late?
No, he was around. He was in the paddock. He was good, and he was there for the media day yesterday. So at least there's that.
He had a late night. He was up playing Mario Kart with Lewis.
They know what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. They're like, Max is going to throw something because that Red Bull car is not fast enough. We're going to have to see what obstacles we're going to get away with. But yeah, so he seems to be okay now, but he missed out. They had the third driver go in. I forget his name, but
Felipe.
That was Felipe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, he did okay, and yeah.
I tell you what, though, it did kind of work out for them in FP2 because they were. I don't know what Felipe did, whether he actually put some like rocket fuel in those things, but my God, did they? Did you see Lance Stroll at one point? Was it P3?
Yeah, Lance Stroll did a time, and for ages it just stayed. It just stood there. No one understands what's going on. We don't know what they did in terms of setup changes from FP1 to FP2.
Absolutely
but
crushed
they
it.
were fast. What was it? 4 and 5? Or 5 and 6?
It might have been 5 and 6. We'll have to check.
Yes, that is right. 5 and 6, and then Lewis was 7th.
Absolute
we will see.
Stonker of a lap.
Will they continue that for tomorrow? I mean, I imagine not, because
everything always switches round after Friday. It's like we've got Max at the bottom at the moment. He's catfishing everyone. He's going to end up there.
Of course.
Aston Martins are probably going to fall back down. McLarens are going to be consistently there, and
always.
I don't know, Ferrari will dill-dabble for a bit, and then they'll decide that they're going to actually be P2 and P3, or P3 and P4, or P4 and 5.
So who knows what's going on? But yeah, Aston Martin did really well. Of course, Leclerc was leading the charge for Ferrari, actually mounting some form of a threat to the McLarens, kind of, even though still maybe 2-3 tenths, maybe 4 tenths, away. But at least he was kind of there, setting a purple sector in the first sector, which seems easy enough, but the McLarens never do. My guess is that, because what happens is a lot of people are fast in the first sector, and then it tapers off, and everyone talks about it's the tyre temperature management, especially the rears, and the McLarens.
Which is who I will be driving for next year.
The McLaren. They're very good with their tyre management. So my guess is that they scale it back just a little bit for the first sector, so that they're able to keep life in the tyres and really work all those corners in the ring. That's in the track. That's what I think is going on. But Leclerc is doing quite well. And tomorrow Verstappen will do what he does. He'll,
come out on provisional pole again, then claim pole, and then won't win the race.
Yeah, because the McLarens will just take him on race pace. But at least he will probably do well. But 14th at the moment, with Yuki in like 8th or 9th. So
not too
interesting.
Not too bad.
We'll see how this all goes.
Can I bring up the Williams again, just because they are my team? And, we talk about the fact that everyone sort of decides to have a flip round, but I am sick to death of things going wrong with that car.
Carlos can't even hear anyone.
He can't hear anyone.
They actually left him on red.
They genuinely did. Everyone was getting angry with him, and everyone's like, no, he can't hear, but no one put any boards out for him. My man's just trying to do his best job. Honestly, if I was Carlos at this point, I don't know what I would be. I've rethought that sentence too quickly, but can we just have 1 week where something goes well, please?
I think Williams need to have a look, talk to their big investors at Atlassian, and go, hey, we're going to need a little bit more money because operationally we're not doing the best right now.
They're stressing me out. I'm going to be grey by the end of this season.
Oh, I don't know what to say. But hopefully they're able to sort that out and come up with something good. But it's not looking... to be a Williams driver, or Williams fan even.
I always pick mid-teams in my sporting following, and I always find it a very stressful season all year round.
Yeah.
Why do I do it to myself?
I have absolutely no idea.
I'm just going to pick someone that wins next year.
That's boring. We both had the same thought. We were like,
boring.
That's like being a McLaren fan this year. Like,
but hilariously, I was a McLaren fan last year, and then they won everything, and I was like, okay, I'll switch now.
That's literally what happened.
Just gave up.
No, you followed where Carlos went. I
did follow Carlos. That's true.
Indeed. So, what we're watching out for tomorrow, we've got to think what's the pecking order going to look like. Of course, FP3 won't be completely representative of qualifying. However, it will be interesting to see what people do overnight, to see what they can do with their cars. I'm guessing Max will get at least in the top 6 by FP3, and then by qualifying he'll be like P3.
Well, there's meant to be rain for qualifying as well, so that's going to throw everything out of the window as well. Of
course, yes. They said there's going to be some thunderstorms
apparently
tomorrow.
It does keep changing, but the word on the street at the moment is there will be thunderstorms for qualifying, and then race for a day it's going to absolutely chuck it down again. So I'm like, I asked for one weekend where it didn't rain.
Yeah, we could do without the rain. However, it is known that the Hungaroring is very difficult to do overtakes on. So if the little bit of dampness, not too much dampness so that they can't see or that they stop the whole race, but a little bit of dampness just to give some people an edge, and we'll see how that goes, then I don't know. And plus all the cars are set up for a very, very high downforce setup, basically like Monaco. So
That's true.
I don't know, man. It could make things actually good.
I'm not saying that I'm not feeling positive, but I don't agree. It's like, we will see. If we get another delayed start and just more boring, I will just... I will need the summer break just for a rest.
I hear you.
But fingers crossed it is good.
It should be good. But hopefully, we'll have a look at the FP3 and see what qualifying brings.
Yeah, absolutely.
See how it goes.